Hi, welcome to my channel again. Today we'll be talking about how to leave a toxic relationship, an abusive relationship, a relationship that is not up to par with what you expect, with what you deserve, or what you expect it to be. I don't like using the word expectation because expectations are also part of the problems. When we expect people to be a certain way for us, when we expect people to do things that please us, that means we are even the abuser. So we need to be really careful. We need to tread carefully so that we understand whether we are the ones that are promoting the abuse or if your partner is the abuser. So I just want to start with explaining a few things about mismatched relationships or about toxic re- relationships, and we're assuming this time that it is not you that is the toxic partner. I'm making the assumption that your partner is the toxic person. So the whole gamut of this concept, is that an abusive relationship, is one that destroys your self-esteem. When your partner, is consciously or unconsciously, but most times it's conscious, consciously trying to control you. By control, I mean trying to make you do things that serve their own purpose, that doesn't serve any higher purpose, that doesn't transcend the person's own selfish ego. So, first of all, they try to control you. That's the overall plan. They want to control you in a way that you only do things that make them happy and that make them feel good about themselves. So they will do anything to get that full control, including silencing your voice. So how do they silence your voice? First they try to destroy your self-esteem so that you have no confidence in yourself. They grind the confidence out of you gradually through constant criticisms. So they criticize you, everything you do. You're never right. You're always wrong. They tell you that you're stupid, you're daft, nobody's going to love you, you're not lovable, you're not worthy of anything. So your self-worth is diminished, your self-esteem is eroded, and your self-confidence is completely dismantled or destroyed. So that's the game that they play. And you need to understand this game because life is a game. And I'm going to do another video, on the game theory of life, so that we can understand how to play this game. We came here alone, we were born into the world alone, except for the co-joined twins, which is very rare. But most people come individually, on their own. And then after the conditioning of life, um, we feel that we need to be attached to people to gain approval of what we are doing. I explained that in the last video, so I'm not going to go through that thing again. And so in the abusive relationship, what happens is that gradually over time, if you decide to stay there, for various reasons, because there are different reasons why people refuse to leave abusive relationships, and that's going to take another video again to list out all the reasons why people decide to stay. There's the social expectation, there's the codependency, there's that feeling or need, there's that feeling that you're not complete if you're not with somebody else. There's that fear of being alone. There's the societal expectation, that a grown woman, a grown man should have a partner, a wife, or something. And all these are man-made constructs. The real block also is in your mind, in your belief. So your belief about all these things constitutes to why you decide to stay in an abusive relationship. So what do they do in the abusive relationships and in the toxic relationships? First, they try to isolate you, from your close friends and people that can advise you very well, because they know you've already built a strong friendship with those people. So they want to take your attention away from them. They don't want you to listen to what your support system have been telling you over the years, because it's a new system now. You have to listen to only them, and the more they keep pouring their voice into your head, with consistency and regularity, you start to believe what the person is saying. And if they tell you, that you're that you're a failure, you're not lovable, nobody will accept you, you're stupid, you're daft, and you keep listening to that thing every day, one day you're going to believe it. So the reason why people stay in those kind of toxic environments, it can be traced back to your childhood, what you've been through, how you view life and everything. So you really need to even understand that you're in a toxic relationship first before you can come out of it. You need to know that you're in a toxic relationship. You need to feel the pain of being in that kind of relationship, and you need to want from the depths of your heart to come out of it. And it's not that difficult, but yet it is a little bit difficult. What you need to do is to reverse all these things I've been saying. You need to understand who you are and why you came. You need to understand your power. You need to understand that nobody has control over you, and nobody can have that control over you unless you give it to them willingly. So, and you need to understand that you don't need to be in a relationship with anybody to be happy. You need to understand that you were born free, and you are free to do anything, that you want to do that makes you happy. You need to understand that you can do it. It's very possible to do it. It's not impossible. A lot of people are doing it, and it's a mental block. It's a limiting belief that can be removed with some techniques, which we will discuss in another video. So how do you value yourself? What value do you give to yourself? What do you think you're worth? You personally, not what another person thinks you're worth. What are you afraid of doing? What have they told you that has made you feel inferior to somebody else? What have you been told over the years that has made you feel like you cannot do what you want to do? Who is that voice in your head? Whose voice is it? Is it your voice? Or is it the voice of your abuser? Or is it the voice of society? Is it the voice of your parents? Whose voice is telling you not to do what you want to do? That's the first thing you need to find out. Who is that voice in your head? Who is telling you that you're fat? Who is telling you that you're ugly? Who is telling you that that you're not intelligent enough? Who is telling you all these things? You need to know where that voice is coming from, because that's not what you came here to do. That's not what we came here to do. We know why we came. I'm here to remind you. I'm just here to remind you of how powerful you are. And I'm smiling because I have been there, and I feel like I'm talking to myself. So I don't know. This topic is really something that needs a more organized or structured approach to it, and I will approach it in a more organized manner. But for now, I'm asking questions because that's what I do. I'm a philosopher. And yeah, so that's how we get to the root of the question, to the root of the problem. You know, why do you feel the way you do? What are you doing in that relation? What are you gaining from that relationship? Exactly. Why do you need to be in a relationship? Were you born with anybody? Who made you so attached to people? Why do you depend on people to be happy? Happiness doesn't come from anybody. Nobody can make you happy. It has never happened before, and it's not about to happen. It's you that will make yourself happy. It's pursuing your dreams that will make yourself happy. Is living life on your own terms that will make you happy. And if you don't have that freedom in your relationship to pursue your dreams, to be your highest self, to honor your divinity, if you don't have that freedom in your relationship, then you're not in a relationship, you're in prison. And you need a plan to break out of that prison. The prison is not a physical prison like well, I'm just being pedantic. I know it's not a physical prison, it's a mental prison, and you have the keys to escape. You just need to unlock it and walk out. The process of unlocking your prison doors is what we're going to be discussing in subsequent videos. So I'm sure you, from what I've said, you've seen the signs. You know if you're in a toxic relationship or not. If you're not free, that's number one. You just need to be. You must be free to be able to do what you want to do. Free to travel, free to talk, free to discuss. When there's a debate or an argument or whatever, you guys can agree to disagree. Nobody has to win any argument. Nobody has to be superior or inferior to anybody, and you don't have to stay in that relationship. That is the truth of the matter. You just need to know that you have the power to leave, and when you leave, it's going to be better than whatever toxic thing that you are enduring. You don't have to endure anybody's rubbish, basically. So yeah, I think I've hit the time limit for the videos I want to be making, and I'll be back with another video on this same topic. I'll be breaking it down, in steps. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again. Please subscribe if you haven't, and thank you.